Hot damn, Uncle Sam, it's the Oklahoma Wild Man, and we are back with some GMC action, okay? Now real quick, just at 5 o'clock, right before this video posted, Monday, February 5th at 5 o'clock, we went live on the channel. I think if you go to my channel and then you click videos, and then kind of like across the top, or across the top there it says lives now, I think. If you click there, it should be the only one because I've never done one before. It should be the only one up there. And we used the comment generator selector deluxe off some website. I don't know, I ain't done it yet. And we chose the random subscriber giveaway for this. So someone remind me, and I'll try to put the name of the winner, pin it at the top of this video even maybe, because I need whoever just won that to get a hold of me if you ain't done it yet. So that's right, S10 last week, last video with it on the main channel. We'll probably put out one more on the second channel because I got to swap out the carburetor real quick and like one or two little piddly things, some wiper blades, no big deal. But that's it on that truck. Now this week, what you're here for, the GMC, I'm hoping we can have one solid week on it here and we can be ready to get this thing out of the shop and start putting some miles on it. That reminds me, I need to get a hold of my buddy about trying to get an alignment appointment for that thingy. Anyhow, we'll do that later. This week, we're hopping on this. We've got some fancy new interior pieces right here. I'm gonna mention these guys a few times throughout the videos. They are Oklahoma people. Y'all know I don't work with a lot of sponsors. I kind of just promote my own brand and y'all support us there where I don't have to reach out to Land of Throne War Deluxe Army Tank Game people and say, hey, please sponsor me. However, these people are local to Oklahoma. Cheyenne Pickup Parts. I'm gonna try to put a link to their website down in the description as well. They're a local couple. They manufacture these parts right here in Oklahoma. They wholesale it to a lot of larger suppliers that then sell the stuff, but y'all can retail through them at their website directly, I do believe. Y'all know I'm an Oklahoma boy, so I'm perfectly fine working with another Oklahoma company on top of what we're gonna end up doing with the truck, which will be announced at some point. So we got some good interior pieces right there. My buddy Adam, he donated us a steering column right there. This one is plumb worn out. So we're gonna be doing a little swapperooey there. Brr, she's a little chilly in here. Inside here we got our carpet kit we probably need to go ahead and pull out. And we also have some vintage air. We're gonna get this thing out the box and let it start stretching and breathing. So much power flowing in here. I knocked something down outside. I heard it. Y'all didn't know I studied at Whipping Ass University, did you? Let's see, we want her to start getting some nice warmer air in it to help it do whatever. Don't mind them new tires, okay? Got them babies for a deal. El Torola, she's gonna look a little upgraded with 37s on her, ain't she? She deserves it. She's a good girl. So we're gonna have to kind of strip out a lot of the stuff. We've got a new dash pad. Oh man, I never got gauges. I need to act on that pretty quick too then. We're gonna be in bad shape. Kind of need to do a tear down, clean out in here. All this crap's getting replaced. It's gonna look fancy, y'all. You may notice seat's gone. I got it to top stitch tailor last week, I think. But I noticed right there, can y'all see that? That's daylight, okay? That's not supposed to be there. Right now, that is your floor AC vent. Go drive around, see if you don't feel some 30-degree air coming in down there. I hate to tell you, whole Metro rescue tool, you're probably not gonna get reinstalled. We're gonna kind of strip this down. We're gonna have to patch up some rust. I'm not gonna get too picky there. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And as we put in the vintage air, which guys, I do not like doing interior stuff. I actually absolutely hate it. Anyhow, so we've got that whole can of worms, but then the HVAC system, we're 100% replacing it with this vintage air kit. So everything on the firewall there is gonna end up coming out. There is, ain't there a condenser up in here already? Radiator's on the back side. Condenser's on the front side. So I guess we're gonna be lucky enough to get to figure out how to take apart one of these front ends kinda to get that out of there. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun. It is not gonna be fun. Not gonna be fun at all. Oh, excuse me, Chris, don't you put that in there. I know you'll find a movie clip that makes it funny. What in the dooney duck we got going on right there? So, I guess we just need to start doing a little tear down action. I just don't know exactly where I want to start. Actually, what I want to start doing is getting it where we can see in there. It's pretty dark. Of course, I need y'all to be able to see. What size is this baby here, huh? I bet she could light up a truck. 150 water, 5,000 K. Oh, she's ready to plug in. Well, shit the bed, Fred. It was meant to be. Boop. Can y'all see better? Yeah, I know I can see in this truck a hell of a lot better. Clearly designed for a C10 GMC. See how it just sits there perfectly? And now we can see everything we need to. Let me hit you with another pro tip. If you're gonna be a top grade mechanic in your shop as well, get you an essentials drawer. The essentials, you're gonna have your best duct tape, you're gonna have some tie wire, and you're gonna have a variety pack of zip ties. The essentials. Essentials like tie wire are key for a good successful shop. Fish that piece around where the dome light holes are, and I got her moved to the middle for some more central location of our light distribute. I got her light moved, and you can call me tear down Terry, because we about to get buck nasty in there. Every time I put these gloves on, I think about how I'm getting closer to the age of 40. I mean, I'm about to turn 33. Now, old Mortsky, he's getting real close. So he's gonna have some lubrication in the situation before too long. You older guys know what I'm talking about. Hey, Mortsky, you don't have to schedule them every other day, bud. Cut it down. All right, let's start pulling garbage. There's plenty of it. Recycle that old cardboard box. Luckily, I didn't whoop it too bad. Proudly made in the USA. Carpet, we thank you for your service. Anyone need a good roadmaster? Y'all want to pair them with the old kicker I found the other day? Yeah. Oh, that should be over here with our carpet. That should be over here with these mud tires. Now that should be over here with these 37. God bless the USA and bless them 37s, please. Go ahead and get our other speaker out real quick. If anyone needs a sound system from 1992, hit me up. What in the brat? The beverage brat drink adapter. Look at that little person, looks like a brat. It fits in an existing cup holder, so it's a big, oh, this is for them big Stanley cups all them women have nowadays. Turn a regular old one into a damn Stanley holder. Beverage brat were ahead of their time. Y'all have to know what I'm talking about, right? I think 90% of women nowadays have a cup that holds at least 7 gallons. We go somewhere, I'm like, come on, honey, we're running behind. I'm coming. I'm sorry, I had to get my Stanley. They carry stuff this big. I could use it to drain oil, for real. I gotta be perfectly honest with you guys. These are not natural, okay? I stuff. I had to. Always been flat-chested. They're just old dish rags. All right, quit getting distracted. Quit getting distracted. One 17-gallon cup ain't enough either. We gotta have at least 3 to choose from. We need different colors so we can accessorize. Oh, that old mat or insulation underneath there. That's some thick stuff right there. That's a thick boy. They were very generous throughout the whole truck. That piece right there is still decent. That may be reusable. Keep some of that heat underneath the, or out from inside that cab. Yeah. I'll finish pulling what I can on this side. Oh man, don't tell me we got more rust underneath there. Hopefully not. As you can also see, we've had critters living in here with us over the years. In fact, there's still a large rat's nest underneath the dash. We'll get to that in a little bit. What piece of missing trim did we just find there? Something for the windshield or something, perhaps? Some interior trim, maybe? Got the old daylight donut wrapper. Yep, someone had a couple sausage rolls in there. Now, David, who this truck used to belong to, he kind of strikes me as a Cajun pie type of guy. I bet he had a daylight donut Cajun pie. That's my go-to there. Well, it used to be. I don't eat there very often anymore. Well, that makes me happy. Looks like a very minimal rust patch is gonna be required over here. All right, what about this stuff? Will it come out there too? Oh yeah, it will. Kind of same thing with it. We're gonna set her off to the side. It might be something we can reuse. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. They skimped us on our back panel. It's just a piece of little kind of cardboard, more or less. And a little insulation underneath it, come to find out. A little more nest, or smaller nest found in the corner there. On this side, don't get rid of your 4x4. Those are always handy. Just add that to your wood pile underneath your toolbox. That's where I keep my wood blocks. I pulled our ducting down at some point, not sure why. Oh yeah, trying to figure out the column. Any of our factory stuff for right now, we're gonna sit it over here on our workbench slash closet. And other than that, no other goodies. Let's get her cleaned out on this side too. Let's hit this baby with the Suck Job Deluxe. Dirt daubers. Uh-oh, we got a problem, Captain. We done clogged her. Them big pieces will get you. Kind of what I expected. We're gonna have a lot of work on our hands here, which I knew going into this week, but man, I'm gonna finish getting the rest of this little crap out. There we go. I've never done that before, but it seems to be working. Notice our screws had a pretty big head on them, so I took our old slice and dice there, and I cut a couple flat sides on the screw where then we could get our locking pliers on there. Just like everything we seem to try around here, and like I always say, it'll work or it won't. In this case, a little trick I tried here worked. And we got lucky there was a washer underneath there, so y'all can see that we didn't even actually cut our seal plate any. Oh yeah, y'all see those holes right there? There, that'll help you see it a little better. Oh, 2 for 2! 2 for 2. I don't know what that voice was. Y'all leave me alone. I think I smelt too many new flavors in here. It's getting to my head. A little 2 for 2. Like Chili's, 2 for 2 or something. Yep. Woo! I think we got lucky there. She's a little flaky, but she ain't rusted out. Since we're here, we got the nut driver on, our glove box lid. Hey, more dirt daubers. Surprise, surprise. A little blend door of some sort. Whatever that is, we're pulling it. Kind of yank on her. Of course, that's vacuum operated, and you were not replacing all your stuff. You'd want to be a little more careful. We're replacing our stuff, so I'm not worried about that. In fact, I'm a total opposite. Let's tear it up and have a little fun here.
Instead of drilling that one out, I just pried up underneath it, assuming we could get a little slack, and we could. Yep, there's always a couple different ways to get past this old rusty crap, guys. All the way back here from Nantucket. All right, what I did was I tightened it back up, then loosened it off, tightened it back up, loosened it off, and kind of work it through there. I don't know if you just get the crap out of the threads. I don't know if doing those a couple times, of course, that sucker starts to get hot, she heats up. If that helps, I don't know if it's a combination. I just know instead of sending it until it gets stuck, take her back in, work her out, take her back in, work her out. Damn seatbelt wiring. This thing shouldn't be fancy enough for that. I never even knew this was here. Oh, that's probably your light back there, I guess, your cargo. Super fancy. Pretty sure I just broke that. Well, it may already been broke. I'm just trying to get the rest of the rat's nest, or as much as I can, that I know is still tucked up in this dash. Man, that was a lot of work. Woo! So it's a little dusty in here. We may need to vent her out. Inside, I knew we had a little bit of rust over there. I expected a little bit over here. I did not expect any in the middle. So I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do there yet. I'll let that bed till you get up on it. You see a rust hole there, 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 there. One little one there, there, there. So you know the whole thing's just, I don't know. That middle piece could be saved. We'll figure it out. Over here, we go around like that and replace this little bead roll area. We'll probably be all right. And we got some figuring out to do over there. Warning, this is about to be some rude and crude floor pan patches, okay? One, I didn't plan on doing that much of it, but two, don't forget, yeah, we fixed the outside obvious rust, but this truck does still have some rust. We're building the quick driver, not the show truck. Take it to Barrett Jackson and hope for a $250,000. So we're gonna just start cutting away, figuring it out. These are gonna be some you get what you get and you don't throw a fit floor pan repairs. Spot weld there. Something in that general area, kinda, sorta. Extremely professional removal there. Don't care about keeping the shape or nothing like that. Right there, we got a spot weld. Just put your grinder on there and grind that sucker down. Remember, nitty gritty floor patches. Piece number one, gone. All that rust you just found in the body brace. Don't worry about that. Piece number two. Took the body saw, reached up in there, cut out any of the rusty stuff we could get. Took the grinder, ground down any of our old spot welds that were on here. That lip had got a little bent. We're gonna just simply bend her right back up. Real complicated stuff here. Next up, we're gonna get the old weather stripping or seal out the way, where we can bring in our templates to play. On that side, that tapers off about right in there, so we're just going to try to make a little piece to get back in here, and then we'll worry about building up the rest. Using a piece of our box that already has a break on it. nitty gritty. So I'm just gonna roughly mark this out. It'll kind of be our shape that way, but then like I said, we gotta taper up. So our lip here, we're gonna end up cutting down like that, and then we'll kind of cut a curved piece somehow, kind of like so. And we'll take that chunk out of there, and then we'll roll that metal lip up like that, and then whatever we're left with, we need to make that longer is what we need to do. I'll put an arrow on there to remind me, because we need to add about a 1/2 inch to that. And then that'll kind of get us over here. Yeah, we'll make that work. Step back here to the forbidden side. Ain't forbidden, it's just, we're trying to save some heat on that side. It must be working because it's damn cold over here. Make sure you face the correct side. Something like that. It ain't quite a 90, I don't think. Bend our piece up with it. Call that hopefully close enough. Gonna have to take a little bend out of it, but I think we can make that work there. And kind of see what I'm trying to do. You gotta have that channel where your weather stripping can pop back on. Weather stripping's a big concern, so we want to make sure we get that. And then much past that, a patch floor is a patch floor. You know what I mean? Been needing an extension cord for a minute, so I just whipped this one up finally for a 220. The old shop, y'all always see me dragging a cable around. Well, this piece of cable I just cut that's running over to our welder now was actually part of this. That was all that extra, and I had it wired straight to our panel at the old shop. So she now, part of the old shop lives on here. She's an extension cord for us. Took some of her bend out, and then, but I'm kind of trying to split the difference here. That's a wide gap to start welding, but it'll weld. Tweak her a little to fit. Kind of ground down that edge, kind of bent a little bit of a curve into that one, and we're going to tack her in. Went up to the old loft, got us some of our ram board, which makes good template material. I'm trying to figure out our bottom piece now. And you can see you can drag that on the edge. It'll kind of mark it out for you. I think that's going to be kind of close. Quick little trim or two over there, kind of working it. Get us some holes drilled for our spot welds, and we can go start working her into place. She ain't quite perfect. Good body hammer is crucial when fixing floors. I mean, I'm trying to zoom through these things, and it's still taking quite a bit of time because, well, no matter how quick you try to zoom it, guys, this crap's just time consuming. However, no more time than we really have spent on those. I'm really not mad at her fit up here. Missed her brace a little on that one. Mark out last little piece of our patch there. That'll probably fit. Gotta be careful, we're gonna shoot sparks through our climate control zone separator. That's its official nomenclature. Go trim that real quick. You wanna get buck nasty? I'll do it right here. All right. She's ready for some paint. Just rough knockdown on our welds. Not too worried about it being perfect. Our channel matches really good right there. So that looks nice. And more importantly than looking nice, it's gonna let our strip pop back on. Now all we gotta do is a whole nother side. The other side, we got a very similar thing going on, just smaller. I bent up this piece. Just made that all out of one piece. Just bent it over, down, up. It was straight. Then I just tapered to cut like a triangle on each side. Bent that piece up to cap that in. So we need to weld it up and it should be ready to sit down into place over there. Welded that piece in. The rest hole was less than a dime size by the time I ground it out and filled up around it. I ended up with a pretty big little bubble gum. That's what it is. It's like just shoving bubble gum in a hole. So our patch welded in there. The bubble gum is right up there, as you can see. But I didn't want to have to get into all that if we didn't have to. That is GUD good enough, if I'm being honest. This lip is rusted off, guys. And I bet if we pulled off all that, there'd be more rusted off. And I'd bet we're not really gonna cut all this out because you need to replace it all, is what you would end up doing. I welded on a little piece of sheet metal right here. That gives a place for that to boop, go to. And now we kind of match the rest of the quality of our full floors right in here. Here's our next piece coming out. Got our money's worth out of that one. So here's our next piece to make. Kind of flatten out where we bent it up, and we should just be able to copy this. B for bottom. And we've got a bead that goes in here. Bead's right at 1 inch wide, starting at 1.5 inches from this edge. Kinda just transferring our measurements, give or take. Kinda rough here. Not getting super duper picky. Let's go fire up the old bead roller. We ain't done that in a minute. Step bits or step dies or whatever you want to call it's already on there. So as I get going there, I'll give her a little more tension. Probably didn't give it enough from the start. It's all right. That'll just kind of stretch her out a little bit. Give her a little more tension out in the middle. Then as we get closer to her in there, kind of back it off a little bit. Here we go, final pass. What we get's what we get. Flip our direction. Camera died over there, but I just finished that. I did it in one pass. I didn't do the tapering, whatever. I just gave her all the ugga-duggas and sent it. So, it's not as deep as the factory one, but that's all right. It's all getting covered up by carpet anyhow. However, that adds a ton of strength back into that piece there now. Let's try her on for size here. Oh, we may be perfect. Now our piece, I didn't mention this, but because I knew we were gonna bead roll it, and stepping that's gonna take some of your material. I cut on the outside of our Sharpie mark, or kind of down the middle, to actually make our panel wider on purpose, because I knew bead rolling we were gonna lose some. Very little trimming and she'll be ready to go. Got a little curve to it. This right here is perfect for kind of bending on. Not planning on a full day of rest repair up in here, but here we are. And guys, I don't know what to do right here besides just lop out this whole damn pan. We'll still have a little rust we got to fix right there and right there. Most of the real heavy pitted stuff, and rust here, rust there, a little bit there, there. Hoping we can just take her out one shot. Call me One Shot Willie. This truck stinks. You can tell there's stuff living in here. She has a smell. Not a pleasant one. One that makes you, it almost be more pleasant to like get some fresh dog poo and kind of woof it. Like it stinks that bad in here. And as you cut on it, and like work on it, you just keep kicking it up. Found our drive shaft. Tracing out that other one seemed to work good. So we're just gonna go set this on our metal here and just kind of trace her out. Same thing here. Marked it wide on our ends, going wide because we're gonna bead roll. Now those, the things are actually raised. Put a T on this side for top, and we're actually gonna flip it over to the bottom. We're doing just like our other panel. I'm not gonna get super duper picky. We're gonna kind of just eagle eye this a little bit and use a tape measure a little bit, and in the end, whatever we get's what we get. Maybe we'll get it kind of close. Under the seat and under all this crap, it really don't matter. Just put a little strength in there. I'm actually just gonna use the width of this, which is gonna be a little wider than what they actually are on that one. .15 inches, 7 3/4 would be center. The middle one's wider, so I'm actually just gonna go, instead of one width of the ruler here, we're gonna go 2 wide. Oh, I did that one obviously crooked. Last bead to roll here, doing these just like our other one. Yeah, just step her over. These aren't gonna be near as drastic as the factory ones. Those are good sized humps. Got quite the lady lovely lump on it. These are just gonna be enough to give her a little strength like our other ones. So she should sit in kind of like that. A little oil cannon to it. An oil cannon. I dropped her down in here and kind of lined our dent up with this. Tack, tack. And then I worked these edges. Our length was like perfect or whatever. Now this end is pretty good. We're overlapping a little there and there. This side is too long. Oh no, actually I just shoved that down in there and went pretty good. So we'll tack it there and there. And then anywhere it's overlapping, guys, I'm just gonna run the cutoff wheel right on it, trim it down, little zip, zip, zip. She'll be good enough. There we go. Good golly, Miss Manala. Oh, I'm as stiff as a board. Oh, I'm hurting bad. Oh, get me out of here right now. Oh, we got her patched. Oh,
Another patch. Yeah, that thing was a little rusty. I just figured we'd just whip in a little piece right there. But I ain't gonna lie, no part of me thought this was gonna be a rust repair video, so I'm kind of over the day. Down in there, we're gonna put a little seam sealer. If you're working on a house or a shop, it's called caulk or silicone. You know, you work on a truck, you call it seam sealer. So it's got WeatherMax technology. It resists UV fading, dirt buildup, crack proof, lifetime mold, mildew, and all kinds of good stuff. She's the Dynaflex, and no, this is not seam seal. This is just regular old house silicone. And down in the deep crevices was hard to weld. I did weld it, but I don't know that it's 100% sealed up. So we're gonna do some of that in there. Get that finger wet. Try to keep that from sticking to me as much. Just push her down in there. Let that set up some. I ground on this just for a primer, or whatever we spray on it will stick a little better. Stuff's flying, nozzles are dying. I'm trying to get this paint warmed up. Come on, baby. Come on. The can is on E. I don't even know how it's still spraying. Come on. You can do it. Can't believe it. I thought there ain't no dang way. We got a little extra to spare up in here. That's all she has. Just enough to layer her on thick. Woo! Glad that's done. Like I said, I don't know where my cellular device. What time is it? 5:45. I didn't even eat lunch today. I just been trying to stay after it because I knew this crap was going to add up and take time. We're going to call that a day. We're going to let that set up, and we'll be back on her in the morning. Good morning. Looking pretty good in here. Looking, I don't know, overwhelming out here. We got our vintage air out. Over here, got our compressor brackets, kind of the condenser stuff-ish, except these lines and dryer come with that kit over there. Or some of them did. I kind of mixed them up, and I'm sure we can figure it out. Now, speaking of figuring it out, I have done a vintage air kit on a 64 Biscayne, the travel all outside. Well, she's on the other side of the man van. That thing has vintage air front and rear heat and air, and that was all universal. Well, I just took their kits and made it work kind of thing. This one I believe is a sure fit kit, but I'm sure we're still gonna get into some shit. I guess we're gonna start with some instructions. Probably a good thing to maybe just look and see what they say you're supposed to do. Check contents past 15 days, after 15 or past 15 days. Images may not depict actual parts. Well, that's very good and helpful. R134A must be charged with a quality charging station. Oh, like when I poke the can and turn it upside down and shake it. Quality. Silicone the bolts before you put them in the firewall. That don't really matter. Voltage spikes. Before starting installation, check the function of the vehicle. Horn, lights, etc. Kinda works. Here we go. Engine compartment. Remove the following. Disconnect battery. Check. We did that yesterday before we welded. Step 2. Drain radiator. She ain't gonna drain herself. True step 2. Remove the hood so y'all can see. And so me can see. Ha-ha! Much better. Hopefully we're catching most of that. Pop her cap, that'll help her vent. I think we're doing good. As that drains, been pulling the nuts on our fan here where I can get our fan pulled. I feel like it wasn't that long ago we had all this stuff out of here. Oh yeah, because not too long ago we had all this stuff out of here. Huh. That's one way to take clamp apart. Remove remove that redneckery. Radiator, be free! I'm making a mess. I thought we drained that sucker. Not so much on this side. I took like 4 steps. I knew I messed up. I was power walking, come over here and realized I was gonna do the splish splash. Everybody's taking a bath. All right, we got that crap everywhere. We did so good over here. Part of it, I think it's our radiator out, but our condenser, unfortunately, is on the front side. And I really do not know what we gotta do to get that out of there. Surely we don't have to pull the fenders to get this top piece. Because it looks to me, no, that's part of the core support. So we're gonna have to unbolt that and this, and then, I don't know. Check, check, evacuate AC system, check, already did. OEM condenser and dryer. I'm hoping we can just pull the grill and it wiggles out from behind there somehow. I don't know, it looks kind of big. Baby's pretty good size. She takes up that whole opening, pert near. Oh, I didn't realize her grill was actually broken up in there. I know she had a missing tooth. It's a pretty good room. We got a vertical bar here that goes from this down to there. Looks like it's gonna have to come out too. That's one way to remove it. Oh, because we only needed to remove the 2 front ones up here. That's me, overachiever. They're spinning, but they don't actually thread out. These are like pieces of rubber. Hit me with a little curveball, huh? There's a nut in there. We're rocking and rolling now. Another curveball. A couple lines in there we need to get rid of. Thank goodness. It's out. I've actually really been dreading pulling that. I don't know why. I just thought it was going to be a lot worse than that. Keep the dirt off of it. She looks too good to be dirty. Condenser has its own little set of instructions. Just follow the pictures, and I'm gonna leave them loose because they got wiggle to them, and these got to line up. So I'm hoping when we drop that down in there, we can zip those and tighten them up from the grill area. One last bracket to add real quick. Installing these can kind of be a pain, guys, but they're really not too bad. I will say be careful. Being the sure fit kit, I thought that meant this thing was just gonna be like good to go. My 64 Biscayne, it came where, I mean, everything was made, all the lines and whatever. I noticed on our AC hoses here, the one didn't have no fittings, and our fittings are right there, which means we're gonna have to crimp them. So if you don't have a crimping tool and you were doing this at this point, or at that point, you'd be in bad shape. I'm sure that's something I overlooked, but I just assumed that the sure fit kit meant that it was gonna sure fit without having to crimp no lines. Wants us to mount our dryer, but it shows our dryer with a switch in there already. Ours does not have our switch. Pay attention, it shows you your in and out. Up here it's marked in. She's plugged on both sides, so you want to make sure to take out the right one. With any AC system, you want to be real careful, make sure you don't get any debris in there. So you want to be, oh, maybe we should put a drop of lube on that O-ring. Got some of that right here. Very small amount, you ain't got to get buck nasty on it. And speaking of getting buck nasty and being careful, be careful right here, that O-ring seals. So right there, snug is snug. Get on that thing like you're in the 1998 Arm Wrestling Championship and you're trying to take down Sergeant Slam. And you ain't gonna do it no good torquing the dog piss out of it. Pop on your couple clamps. Not gonna quite tighten them down because it looks like we got a line to install.
don't know if you could hear that, but they have this thing. I think they said they charge them with like nitrogen to keep them dry in there. Moisture and air conditioning systems don't go along together. Lube up your O-rings. We got number 6 and 8 size fittings here. These are our smaller ones. And this is why we didn't quite tighten that down. Everything's lining up really good though. Just like our pressure switch, O-ring sealed, so be careful. Soft materials here. We're dealing with aluminum. Looks like more aluminum. You don't want to just crank on it. Just enough to snug it. You know it's going to hold it. Let the O-ring do the work. You over torque yours, I'm going to come through the screen, all right? And I've got a size, I'm going to exaggerate and say 13 boot on. I do not wear a 13. If I tell you I come through there with a 10.5, ain't nobody going to be scared. They're going to be like, bring it on, pipsqueak. Come through the screen. Boop, I'll thump you right back through it. Looks like we got to pop out the rest of our old rubbers and then slide in some new ones. Then we're gonna bolt this baby right into place. That'll slip in and out of there, but as you hold it and tighten it some, it swells up, and then that's gonna keep it from pulling out. She's tight. The brackets I left loose, I tighten them, no big deal. And we got a couple hard lines to install. We're gonna go from our dryer over that away, and then from the condenser that away. And these two units are gonna poke through that fancy little block off plate thingy we put on there. I'm gonna pull this off here, it just makes sense. So we got a tight fit back here. We actually got a snake behind that, and then go through that. And we can get her started over here. I had a feeling we'd be painting some stuff today, so this morning I pulled the paint out of that room that stays really cold, where it was warming up on the toolbox this morning. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to let that set up, and that's gonna take a minute. It's 58 degrees in here. Because I've been painting that should be the final coat. I did slap a radiator back in. However, this other stuff I don't want to do until we do figure out the compressor mount. Just seems like it'll make sense to leave the extra crap out of the way until we figure that out, right? Right. Come back to our original booklet. Condenser, AC lines, compressor, evaporator, blower assembly, discard. To remove it, factory manual recommends that you remove the right inner fender for accessibility. We are gonna try to avoid that. We do not want to pull that. I'm sure there's just a couple of bolts that hold that to the firewall on the bottom side. We're gonna have to figure out. All right, there's our vacuum supply. Go ahead and put a vacuum cap on that before she's running bad and we don't know why. Accidentally unhooked that one. Put her back. And then as far as this, I reckon we're gonna just start pulling some bolts and seeing what happens. Little uni-wiggler with some tape on it keeps it from being so floppy. Starting to get a little wiggly. Come to sweet papa. Yeah. Oh, ow. Got it. That stud was a little bent, so as being ornery, I had to kind of bend it back straight to get it. I'm undoing any and all wiring, which is that whole harness. Oh, whatever that relay was came apart. She's a custom 2-piece relay now. So if anyone don't know how a relay works, here's an easy way to show you. Right here in this episode of Puddins Educational Services. So a relay is to allow more power to be able to flow through, higher amp draw probably. We're not gonna get too technical because I'm not that smart enough to teach it. What I'm telling you is if something's gonna pull a lot of power and you put it on a little switch, you're gonna burn that switch up. That's where a relay comes in. Instead, you put your power to this, and maybe you can see that set of points right there. Boop, that contact. And what you're gonna do is, so that would be your in right there, and then that would be your out. And what happens is, when you charge up your coil back here on this back side, it pulls that up, makes contact. Now you can flow more power. Now you could use your little rink-dink switch to close your coil, because your coil side don't pull a lot of power. So then you let the relay do all the work. That's your professional puddins pro tip. Heater hoses got us. Yep, them clamps right there. Found the rest of our mouse house. Found his old hidey hole. I guess it's a secret blessing that heater core was leaking, because if we would have ran all that through the system, that wouldn't have been no good neither. Leaking heater core is what got us here. Such a pain to replace the factory one. I'm like, we might as well put better stuff in it, you know what I mean? Come to me. Air conditioner. There's our evaporator right there. I came off there not too bad, actually. You're gonna need a Uniwiggler, like I said. But would I pull the fender well for that? Ain't no damn way. Ugh. Let's get us a clump of this. That way it don't just fall out on us. Well, grab me a bite to eat and come back to some baloney. AC compressor mount. Small block Chevy, long water pump. Passenger side. I was putting this thing together and I'm like, I don't know how in the hell they think it's gonna go on this side. It's not good. I don't know what we're gonna do about it. I don't know if there's a different bracket you can get. Obviously, I would prefer not to have to move the alternator to this side to then put this over there. At the same time, it may be easier just to fab up some alternator brackets. We're gonna think on it. So, as we, I don't know, I called a buddy. He said he's gonna do some digging. He said he actually usually keeps those brackets in stock, which would be nice. We are gonna move towards tear down of the inside. And part of that, we need to swap out our column anyhow, so I'm just gonna start out here, work our way that way. I will be happy when this truck is done. We're gonna start new projects, it's gonna be fun. Mortsky sells a super scraper. That right there is a super reacher. He's a super reacher. Never mind, I ain't gonna go there. Pops are harness free. I pulled our nuts. Well, I pulled that nut. We got a couple threads holding that one still. And then these plates will probably come off here. They're just sealed to the firewall, I'm assuming. I would say they've never been off there. However, the owner of the truck, the old owner, he told me he had the tilt column put in there, or he had put it in there, one of the two. Our new column's separated right up there. So I'm wondering if we should just pull this off down here, wiggle it out, and then swap that shaft over out here maybe. Probably be easier. 12 point. I've had one the whole time. I did not know that. Someone had sent this out. She's an Ultra Pro Chrome Van Diem. She's a 12.7/16, which is what we need. I've been using a dang wrench every time we've done one of these. Because, unbeknownst to me, I had a socket in there. That's a hell of a lot faster than using a wrench. Baby turn, baby turn, baby turn. I'm assuming it got parts from the junkyard, because don't they, I mean, that could be a factory mark, but usually they mark pieces at the junkyard sometime with the yellow. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up at this point. And hook our wiring. What is that? That unit's made out of copper. 2 of them. Get our switch wiring. Oh, I was gonna say, I thought I felt it pop off there. It did. Just got her wedged in there instead. Here she comes. Ha. Yeah, it looks like as we go together, the ducting is gonna have to go underneath our column. So we wanna get our other column swapped in. Might as well, we're here, it's fresh on the brain. Ain't nothing changed, it's the same damn thing to go back together. I do believe, as long as, like I said, we gotta rob this shaft. Pull that bolt all the way. Yeah, that's what was holding it. Should have known better. Now I see the groove they machine in there. Then that, boop. Of course it ain't gonna come off there. Back of the truck. This column is nice. She looks like she's in really good shape. We're gonna have to figure out something for a steering wheel though. I did not figure that out. We're gonna be missing a couple pieces here, I have a feeling. Fire my parts guy, that's all I know to tell you. Curveball. Why would it just swap over? That'd be too easy. Look at our distance there. About a pinky's worth from the bottom of that to our groove. This one, about an 1/8 inch. Well, Moby Dick, what do we do here? I say we throw gasoline on it and burn it to the ground. There's only one sensible answer. Goes on, but that won't go through because our slot's in the wrong place. So if we just slot over, holy cow, that's a lot of slot. We need to go, there should be a little left right there, but we're gonna slot that. Just so I cut us a new groove right there. Still plenty of splines to contact, just as long as we can get this clamped on. I think we'll be good to go. Winter, winter, chicken dinner. Yeah. On this, we didn't have to remove that. We can undo this clip. Swap that. Now, hopefully, God willing, everything else is a plug and play system. Don't tell me this is a different switch. It's a different switch. Make sure I ain't looking backwards here. Am I backwards? Hold on, what if that flips? And then that flips. Went on there anyhow. All right, quick little test. I was really questioning myself there. My eyeballs are bass-ackwards today. Yeah, I think our battery tray held her last battery there. Clawhammer Clayton strikes again. She slipped on. Got her just started with the nut. I know our horn button thingy here should indicate up in this general area. Not 100% certain where, but that should get us pretty ballpark. Man, Adam did us a solid with that column. I don't know if y'all seen the bottom side. That sucker was nice. That's a nice column. So just like everything we loosened or clamp out here in those little sealing board in there, the board that seals, not a sealing board. Guys, I'm just gonna button all this stuff up real quick. I ain't gonna know what to do not having the hot wire underneath the hood to start it now. I pulled our shifter off. It actually needs the spring. It needs the spring installed in there anyhow. So the pin wasn't fully installed. We'll just keep it out of the way because we're gonna pull all this crap off next. We need a better radio for this rig too. We put all these nice looking interior parts in here, and well, the old Pioneer cassette player ain't gonna cut it. Me myself, I like a factory looking radio. Out with the old worn out wannabe wood grain. This right here, guys, this is just you, plumb worn out. This right here is her new man friend from work, the guy she tells you not to worry about, okay? You versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. Just playing. This one here, she had some miles on her. She'd been sun-baked, as you can tell. And that one right there is gonna look mighty fine in there. When we get to that point, up next, we're gonna replace our dash pad. I've always been curious how these dash pads hold in here. I don't feel like much of anything's holding this one. Now we got screws down there. Should just click in on the front or something? That's all that holds one of them in. Smells fishy. Seems too good to be true. Apparently it's true. Shoo-wee! She had a rough and tough. How old is this truck? Holy cow, this truck's almost 50 years old. That is insane to think about. It's just a square body. Don't seem like it should be that old. Just removing what we know is leaving anyhow. That side, the pillar piece is missing, not the sun visor. That Got something else that ain't gonna cut it. That our gauges are the same color as the truck, moss gold. And actually the gauges in here are in pretty good shape. A little rusty. Needles could be painted, I guess. It's mainly this bad boy that's the issue. I don't think that's gonna be savable. Use the cut and cut compound and some steel wool, and it smooths it up. That's heavy textured and that's smooth, but that's just sun baked too deep. Really, we just need this plastic cover. Got crap everywhere. See that? Oh no, I have to get rid of all this terrible wiring. How can I live with myself? How can I ever build this truck without this great radio and wiring people dead? Snip. Just gonna snip that one there. Got! Kill! As tempting as it is to find a cassette tape of the Beastie Boys and do donuts in this truck, we're just gonna ditch the Pioneer. Y'all see the rust on top of that? Couple theories. One, windshield is leaking, water got in there. Two, I don't know if y'all can see, but that's plumb full of rat's nest still. And pee makes stuff rust. So all that rust right there could be from mouse piss. Yep, that's what it is. So wondering all this wiring ain't just plumb chewed up. Quite literally smells like piss in there. Got a couple switches, and then we're gonna have these little clips that hold on our vacuum sucker manifold. We just worked on the one on that S10 last week. I'm so glad we're getting rid of that crap on here. I hate that design. You're asking for vacuum leaks with it. Y'all can like them if you want. I'm not a fan. Looks like for cold to hot, we do have one cable. Apparently that cable don't want to come off there. It wants to stay. But it ain't got a choice. It's got to come off there. So let's see how this one works. As you shift it, it just whoop, whoop, a little manifold or a little valve body in there and sends a vacuum out to whatever it needs to send vacuum to. Well, we're getting her stripped down here, aren't we? I don't think our old 4x10 was gonna bump anymore. She is well past her bumping days. Next, we're gonna try to get all the old junk from underneath the dash, HVAC wise. I was looking underneath here, realized there's a screw that used to go to a ground strap as well. I don't know if that was going through our HVAC box or not, but having it out there ain't gonna hurt nothing. Let me see my old claw hammer. I like my claw hammer to match my small block Chevy. Worn out, well used, but they're durable and reliable with a little hint of orange. See a screw right there. So that's coming through from this way. I don't know, maybe we'll start pulling this crap. Of course, rest of our mouse nest got a screw up there holding that. Oh, that's a little wasp nest as well. Nest. There's a T on nest. I don't know what has that thing caught up in there though. You don't think it's maybe that screw hanging out right there, do you? There we go. Any more up in here? Give her a few love taps from the backside. They usually like that. There she goes. It's caught up on them long studs that are all bent and crooked. Alright, separate our vacuum. We are free. And this thing is dirt tea. Also rusted out from the rat pee. Now if we were changing out our heater core, guys, we would have had to do all this to then get to this point and then start pulling out our blend door and all this crap to get your heater cores right in there. And that's, whoa, Nelly. And that's why when I realized you had to get that deep into it to just do the heater core, I was like, well shoot, we're halfway there, you know, to putting in, like I said, better stuff from the get-go. For the defrost ducting, looks like this one's just bent. I'll straighten it out. that old brittle pin hit up in there. Oh, she disintegrated. U.S. government. Go along here and you can pull off some of this insulation that's hanging where it was, oopsie daisy, where this stuff was glued in from the factory. I was looking at this and just realized that's our antenna for the radio. Goes right there. Also looks like it was leaking at one point. Got plenty of glue right there. Even more dirt daubers. I just love doing anything that could make it where I have to shop back this truck out again. My goal was to do it 706 times in 2 days, and we're only two short. Over here you can see the hanging insulation. Oh, we got water in there. All right, we'll just pressure wash everything. All right, we're gonna go back with some assembly. It starts with silicone and some stuff to our kick panel. Basically, you ain't using this anymore, so it's to seal it up. Now they sent us some of these that have the speaker style, but me myself, I'm not a huge fan of those. I'd rather have something factory looking. So we're gonna skip this, and we're gonna move on to what we can do. We're running out of time today. I don't know how a whole day goes by. The inner side of flange goes towards windshield. Thin side, thick side. Those plop in quite nice. Next up, we got a delete plate here. Kind of cheesy, but I guess it'll work. It's like a little RTV. Bolt threads into that little bar. Point is to use that bar as your nut. The bar just fell. Hopefully that RTV holds that. Smash! That smashed us. It looks like we just bolted a pot lid to our firewall, but whatever. It looks good. Especially if you're like ready to scramble some eggs, just undo that bolt, boom. You can cook, whip them up, all right? Leave them a little runny, how Gordon Ramsay likes them. Then, what do we got going on? Drill holes as shown below in figure 5. OEM hole, drill hole, OEM hole, drill hole, drill hole, drill hole, drill hole. Drill 3 1 1/8 holes. What we do, just slap our firewall delete panel up there and kind of use it as our template. We're covering up the big old hole for the factory wiring too. So I pulled that grommet. This is the only wire that's not unhooked in here. So do you just ditch all the factory wiring? Because with that pulled out of there, the only thing that's hooked up now is our big old supply right there. Undo that and that'd come off there. So we got to kind of clean our firewall up here, I think. Put that old super scraper to work. Get that hooky puck off. I don't know what they want you to screw into. Something was in that hole till I put a screw in it. I was gonna screw into nothing. The holes are bigger than this. Oh boy. It's one of them adapters, huh? Not impressed with this. Them sheet metal screws don't even tighten into where they say to put them. I'm gonna try to hold that up where I want it. Of course, I shouldn't have to do that. That's the point of them screws, allegedly. This need one to tighten down like that where it'll actually hold itself, for crying out loud. Vintage Air, your panel sucks. You got 5 holes to drill here. But Puddin', what are we gonna do about the rusted out firewall? I'm not sure what y'all's talking about. I didn't see nothing. I ain't got my glasses on today. I can't see diddly. I can see this firewall turned into Swiss cheese. Drilled some new holes. A lot of the crap didn't line up. Oh my goodness. This is my 17th time of trying to explain this, but my phone rings every time I start talking. This plate sucks, okay? I had to drill some new holes. I'm not getting too picky here. I'm gonna put a fatty of a bead on this thing all the way around. We're gonna stick it up there. And the ones that hole they tell you put a screw in, but the hole's 12 times bigger than it should be. Maybe we'll put a bolt in there, I don't know. How should I know if they don't know? You know what I mean? Basically, I'm hoping this RTV will hold it on. It'll hold better than their damn screw job they sent. Get your seam sealer back out, because I don't trust that crap. If only I knew a fabricator who could build a panel or cut that one into the existing firewall and smooth it out and make it all pretty. I don't know anyone who can do that though. Just playing, guys. This ain't that level of truck, okay? This is the drive it, beat it, you know, love it. It don't gotta be perfect. I never let myself build anything like this. We did the S10 of this one. It's been hard to not let stuff snowball. But I'm gonna lay a bead down this other side and go in for the night. It's already 6 o'clock. As you can see, I just put bolts from the other side through. And actually been having those where you can really tighten them down. That helped a lot. All them little sheet metal screws, that ain't it. Looks like our silicone set up. A couple mistakes. One in that hole right there, we're supposed to do a 1/4" bolt facing backwards. And then this bolt up here, that's supposed to be open. So I took the one I put in there out. That's okay. That being squeezed on there helped that seal up and hold up where it could do what it had to do overnight. Now our evaporator ain't, well, evaporator, heater core, everything right here. Ain't that amazing? Look at the size of this versus this hanging that much out of the firewall, this one up underneath there. And all that can be condensed to this. No silly vacuum controls, anything like that. We've got some assembly to do right here. We'll get our little front cover on. I did look up, I ordered for a bracket to be on the driver's side. So that means they sent me the wrong brackets for that compressor. And that's part of building old cars, guys. I mean, you're gonna get wrong stuff here or there. Problem is, I looked on the same people's website and couldn't find a bracket for the driver's side. I was just gonna order it. That way we could get it coming and then deal with swapping it out with them later. Still gotta figure that out. Front bracket, check. Careful pulling them caps, that unit's under pressure. Under pressure. Pressure pushing down on me. Freddie Mercury was definitely disappointed in me just then. Part of your heater core threads on here, O-ring seals. They just 90 out. So I'm trying to get them 90 degrees with our bracket back here that's going to sit flat to the firewall. But to tighten them up, that bracket I just tightened up, I took back off where we can slide it over where we can get some wrenches on these babies. She's gonna blow, Captain. Hi-ho, hi-ho, off to work we go. I hope it fits, it don't fit like shit. Hi-ho, hi-ho, hi-ho. This would be a great time to have a mojo. What's a mojo? That's the guy who does all the work behind the scenes over at Mortsky Repair. Be a good time to have Bill or Slick or Puddin' Pops here. Our heater hoses don't even look close to stubbing through. I was able to bend on them and be careful, you're bending on a heater core, but they did bend up a little bit. Something just happened to our air compressor. Now we gotta figure out how to wedge this. About like so. What is going on up here? Well, she ain't a quitter. It sounds to me like we threw a belt and or broke a belt. Hey, sure enough. Well, belt's in bad shape. A couple strands coming off. It'd be nice if we had a knife to cut that with. My dad's old $20 compressor he got here. Cleaned dirt daubers out the motor, and it's been running since. We've built a lot of stuff for this compressor. You ain't quit me yet. No sense in starting now. She'll last till she pops again. Put a bolt there, and on the other side you got to put a spacer before you thread into that bracket. And I'm trying to line this all up by myself. We'll see. I'm kind of close, I think. I got it, guys. I got it. We're gonna leave that one a little loose. Told you I was close. Put a shim underneath here. This is holding this up because this bracket sits on that. So as we shim that, it picks this up. And we gotta get the one on the bottom started. A little more shimming, a little duct tape pull. And I was able to get our second one started. There's usually always a way to do something as long as you're a little creative, guys. Gotta drill some holes up there for your screws. Drill bit, we thank you for your sacrifice. Our line right there, just tightened her up. Before you tighten this up, check this for level. Side to side, front to back. That makes sure you're gonna drain your condensation good. You don't want water sitting stagnant up in there getting oldie and moldy. So all this stuff sticks out. We landed pretty good overall. That line we just tightened, we gotta put some of our Hucky Puck tape on right here. And other than that, I think we gotta run a drain line. And that, my friends, is why you should fully read the instructions, because that said to measure 1 inch down and drill a 5/8 hole. And I read measure 1 inch down, and I seen 1 inch, so I drilled a 1 inch hole. It means our hole's gonna be too big. Just run your drain to your oversized hole. Slap your Hucky Puck tape on that joint right there. Luckily we got extra Hucky Puck tape because that's going to save us out here on this hole I just drilled. Slapped our grommets on our lines. Now that, I'm going to put the rest of that right there. Now that condensation has a place to go. And so does our extra Hucky Puck tape, because we're going to, that's what we're going to seal this firewall with. Sandwich some on the back side, that way it sticks through the hole to that and it'll kind of seal it up, hopefully. Now, we've got a side quest mission because Nathan just called me. He took the man van to go work on some merchandise orders. And he said, I got stuck over here. Oh, Nathan, young guys, you know, the only way you get experience is by, you know, doing stuff. And today he did a mistake. He said he whipped through the back, gonna turn around in the backyard. Well, it's been raining a lot. And that backyard is always super soft. We're gonna take the tow roller over there, but I don't think this is gonna go well. Hey, old place. You thought we forgot about you, didn't you? No, we did not. Oh man, it is always so soft back here. I'm honestly impressed he made it that far. Just water everywhere. Let's go off-roading. Come on, Nathan. You knew I was gonna have the camera. This is life lessons, sir. And like I make him crawl through the mud in them white Nikes, he won't forget again. Call AAA.
This never happened.
It's actually not as buried as I was expecting. That crap over there is bad. What do you mean you can't see? Oh, I had them moving, but we get over here and the whole front end just whoa, slid over. I'm gonna give Nathan a couple bucks and say have fun at the car wash. We didn't really doubt the tow roller though, did we? She never lets us down, folks. Tugging 1-ton vans through the mud like nothing. Can't believe we're gonna reward bad with behavior with good food. You didn't get stuck in here, did you? We're gonna have to take this now though. Gotta have that employee of the month. One more mishap like that, it's gonna be back to the Chick-fil-A. Be saying my pleasure. He knows I'm playing. What Nathan don't know is I need to get a picture of Chris, who's been editing, we need to put Chris in here as the new employee of the month. That way when Nathan goes back in there, he has to see Chris as employee of the month instead. I'm actually happy Nathan got the van stuck. We've been locked up in this shop working on stuff, and it was nice to get out and about. And I kind of like playing in mud, and it actually went pretty good, so no complaints here. He made out pretty good on the deal. He got damn food out of it. To keep progress moving, we're gonna just get our compressor on this side, and I got with the people Affordable Street Rides. That's who I bought it from. Super great customer service. Anyhow, they're gonna get me the alternator bracket for this side, so we're gonna do the classic swapperooey. But moving the compressor to this side, it's gonna make our AC line shorter, where we're not going across the motor. And I just kind of like the idea of that. It also keeps us making progress on this. Who really needs to charge a battery anyhow? We don't need an alternator. Only lucky us, one problem, our head is not drilled for this bolt here, so we get to drill and tap it. Use that bolt to mark center. This is pretty important that we get it right. We definitely want to mark center. Got a fresh new bit here. And we're going for some cutting fluid too. I don't know how deep to go. Where are we gonna end up hitting here, huh? Water jacket? Boy, that bit's just cooking through that head. Now that's pretty deep. We're gonna try right there. Cover that old tap with some cutting fluid. Here we go. This is definitely a first for me. Seems to be cutting well. Pulled her out of there, blew her off, got the hobble cobble off of it. And we're just gonna go real slow. Listen to the tap. And right there, getting pretty tight. So I'm gonna take her out. Please be good to me. Uh-oh. Apparently we missed. Just a little. Give him the waller for $1. We ain't gonna finalize that till we have our belt. It should be on its way here shortly. Snug. Put our hard line in though. That lined up very well. Of course, it's split in the middle, but I'm actually impressed with how well that lined up. Sitting pretty out here. We're at a stopping point, so we're gonna move in here. Are y'all tired of interiors, rusty floors, and air conditioning systems yet? I need Nathan to go get stuck in the mud again. Give us something fun to do. Gotta rob our vent. A clean vent's a happy vent. To do all of our cleaning, we like to use our products from the Sweet Patina. This one here's the So Fresh and Clean All-Purpose Cleaner from the Sweet Patina. That's a lot to say. Y'all know he's been a sponsor of the channel, or a believer in me for a long, long time. If you want to get you some of them good cleaning products, you can just head over to www.sweetpatina.com. Just use the old promo code on the screen. Next up, we need something with teeth. That's right, these little S-clips. They kind of got little teeth on them, and when you shove them on here, they're gonna bite to, that one's gonna drop. When you shove the next one onto here, it's gonna bite, about like so. And now we can shove that on the factory vent over there. That adapts her from being the rectangle to the oval port. Ain't gonna fall off there, I promise you that. Shoo! That sucker fits in there nice. Gonna do the same thing to our center vent. See, he's disgusting. Oh, that's rat poop I just grabbed. We'll swap the vent over, we're going to a new dash pad. So look at this bad girl right here. Look at that quality. Look how she holds herself. That's because she's got nice backer. All ABS plastic, I do believe. Maybe looks sharper than a thumbtack.
Looks slicker than slick. I don't even know how it's possible to look slicker than slick. Slick, slick. Woo, baby, that's gonna look good. Swap your thing over with them little S-clips, and then this holds in these little studs, little plastic studs stick through, and then you put these little chrome nuts on there. Little chrome biter nuts, that's the real name of them. They just cut their own threads. You just want to run these down. You don't want it to impact, guys. You're just using this to snug it. If you're not comfortable doing that, get you a wrench or a ratchet. Outside vent goes on the same way. Put our little adapters on. If you put those on the wrong side, they're hard to get off. Ask me how I know. So there's our dash ready to put in the truck. Man, does that look good. She's gonna be a looker. Fixing that gave us enough time for our belt and heater hose to get here. So back to the front, belts on. I did index this a little different, turned our ports up here instead of over there. And now we get to look at whatever it's gonna take to build our lines. That fittings there already got the O-ring on it. And I'm really happy we decided to put compressor this side, because now we're gonna go from here to our biggin, where before this thing would have been over here, then our lines would have been going across the top of the motor, and y'all know crap like that just never works out very good. It'll work, it's just a mess. Mock that up and decide where we want to cut this bad girl. Shove her like that. Maybe right there where that F is where we're gonna cut it. I like that. Mock our smaller one up next. Oh man, I think y'all feel. I mocked that baby up, marked it. Feel like a little cave creature going over to this side. Oh, come on, to the forbidden side we must journey. That's my little evil creature cave monster voice. We're gonna use the evolution to cut these down. Oh, it was just as they had all promised. Beautiful patina and fabricating tools. What else could you ask for? The old forbidden side. You come over here and see these rigs, you'll fall in love. That's why it's forbidden. That cuts that pretty nice. Forbidden side is bad. We must never go back. Oh, we're gonna have AC. We're gonna have AC. I ain't used the crimper in a minute. Trying to remember how to do this. Select your size, number 8. One thing I did not show you over there that I should have showed you, but I did it anyhow, was the fittings. I put marks on the top and on our hose to index it where I knew how to slide this on here. Because we mocked them up a certain way, so you want to crimp them a certain way. I blew those out, but I'm sitting here looking and there's a lot of debris right there. Let me figure out how to clean these. Anytime now. All right already. Kind of just held her up like that and shot a little bit of alcohol in there and wiped it and then blew it back out. There's just a little rubber dust from cutting it. I'm gonna take some of our O-ring lube, put it on our piece right here, since we're about to shove that on there. Before you shove it on there, you want to kind of look and see how far down it's gonna go. So like our letter right there, I know I should just about cover it up. We're gonna shove her down. And make sure she just bottoms out. Put her in there and pin it. And then just start to tighten her down. Yeah, that's it. Once she's tight, she's crimped. Now we got a custom AC line. Woo, she looked good. Just swap your jaws to the smaller number 6. Give her a crimping too. I favored that side and squeeze that a little funky. We're gonna try it and hope for the best. A little rippy of the zippy tie. Little rip zip zip. Call that a day. Heater hoses on. That's a return right there. Goes to your upper one. Your lower one right there. Be sure to splice in your control valve. It does go a certain way. And then that comes from your supply off your intake right there. Few zip ties and thank goodness say it ain't so. Out here we are DUN. We are done. No, I'm not including the grill and radiator
or fan shroud and all that stuff. That's easy peasy stuff. Oh boy, what's next? Back to ducting. Right here it tells us that we should come over a 1/2 inch past this and cut this. Woo! Nailed that 1/2 inch. Got a floor vent or foot vent, I guess, right in the way. Oh, she's also full of rat's nest and poop. Common theme with this truck. There it went. Shoo! Stinko de Mayo. Even more poop just stuck to the vent in there. Disgusting. That's what you want wafting in your face when you kick your vents on. Good thing I got my cleaning skirt on, a little scrubbing, and this baby's looking a lot better. We're gonna go for a little modification in this situation. Cut us an extra piece of plastic off what was left of our duct. And right here, we're just gonna cover up where this floor vent used to be. Do we need a floor vent? No sirree. Getting a little custom here, aren't we? A little silicone on here, a little RTV. Oh yeah, squish out of there. I'll put us 4 screws in here total. I'm gonna lap some RTV over that, because that one leaves a little bit bigger gap around there. Something like that right there will do. We'll let it sit up overnight. Now our wiring, I just knocked us a hole in our firewall right there, and I fed the harness through this way. I done been running it some, but out of this harness right here, you can see this black bundle of wires. Then we got one blue. Well, I'm running all the stuff on the bottom of these to kind of hide it as best as possible. But your black bundle of wires, well, I mounted our circuit breaker right there, and that's what your black bundle turns into. That's going to feed it. That needs to go to your positive. Both these white wires need to go to your negative. So landing them right there gets us real close to our battery. Now our blue wire, it pops out. No, it don't. It pops out back here, but I ran it all the way up to here. But you see, we got 2 blue wires. Wiring's fun, right? 2 blue wires, black bundle wire, wire. Well, that other wire is gonna hook up to your compressor here, and I ran it, the blue one, underneath this, and that's how we're getting both them wires right there. Now I'm gonna wrap them in tape together, make them their own little special black bundle, because both these wires are gonna head through our core support, and you guessed it, they're going right there to our binary switch. If you're gonna run electric fans, you're gonna need a trinary switch. Or not, we got the old manual, the classic. So we're good with our binary, trinary. That sounds like some of them terms folks use nowadays. I ain't gonna get into all that. We'll just do what we're half decent at, which is shut up and work on junk. Well, not so much shutting up. Kinda like to talk. Just some good old-fashioned Pot County wiring loom right here, baby. I'm gonna roll that edge where a little bit sticky sticks up. That way when you hit them dirt roads, the dust sticks to your custom wiring loom. Looks terrible. Just fish them through your core support and trim them to fit. Yep. I'll show you in a second. Having that black tape on there helps a lot. Of course, a bright blue wire is going to stand out. And behind our grill area, if that ever did kind of droop down, the black's going to help it disappear. The blue's going to stand out like a sore thumb. Stand out like me and a group full of Californians. I thought those were the ones that had the heat shrink built on. Apparently they are not. I was just melting that sucker. Just pop them on there, they'll work until they don't. Come to the back side, and now when you see that little bundle of wire just barely stick out there, they don't even look bad. Almost looks factory. And for being a rude, crude install, not going over the top, pretty happy with how that all looks. With vintage air, your white is your ground. So we got one ground to do underneath there, and I tucked all this crap up. They give a lot of extra wiring. So I know that looks kind of scary, may look a little intimidating. Everything right there is plug and play. Some people like to mount the relay. I like to just zip tie it up right there. You can cut that one zip tie, and majority of that wiring can fall down here where you have access to it to work on it. It ain't gonna bounce around, it ain't gonna do nothing crazy. This had too much slack, just a couple zip ties to take it up. Same with our blower motor, a couple zip ties take that up. Tan wire, get it out of here. Tan wire used only for vintage air supplied control panel with LED backlight. We ain't fancy enough to have one of them, so that don't apply to us. Purple here is gonna run over to this side for key switch. However, we are done for the night. I just realized it's 6 o'clock and it'll be 7 o'clock before I know it if I don't quit. We're gonna start this morning with a little Suck Job Deluxe. Pulling a little vacuum here. Get you 12 gauges, 14 vacuum pumps. Maybe you'll get it to work. Check right where our needle is. I'm not trying to vacuum this out as far as servicing it, but before we go together with anything, you want to check vacuum just for any obvious leaks. These are my old crusty gauges that are in really bad shape. Come to find out, they work better than the ones I picked up from the Harbor Freight yesterday because those are leaking somewhere. Couldn't pull a good vacuum with that. So I cut off these valves where we shouldn't even be pulling a vacuum on our AC system. And I tested vacuum and it was leaking, so I know the gauges are leaking somewhere. I don't see that dropping though, so we're gonna leave that. That's good. Well, flat my hiney and call me Sally. I did not know this came with a controller. I thought we had to take the little thingies and attach it to the factory stuff. This job just got a hell of a lot easier. On my 64, the controls, you had to mount these little like kind of not actuators, what do you call it? Transducers. Little transducers that convert your manual to electric signal. This right here looks plug and play. I'll be damned. Got some nice hooks up in there. Ran our harness over, she plugs in. Our purple wire. Purple wire runs this way, it needs 12 volt key. Right there is where we unplugged our factory harness. We have no voltage. We have voltage. That's a male. So we just need a female spade connector. Bloop. She can plug in right there. Thankfully, we got a key switch in this thing where we could test that. We got about 12 volts, as you see there. Got that plugged in, and we got some wires hanging right here. Black, that's gonna be your ground for your radio. Yellow for your radio, that's your 12 volt key. I'll snip that in. Snip that in, we don't want it arcing. Gray wire here, I'm not sure what it was for, but obviously it was not really being used. So instead of having it do the wang dangle in there, I'm just gonna snip it up in there. If for whatever reason we end up needing it, I know where it's at. These wires will hang out down here. I have a radio coming. I hope it gets here quick. It's one of the retro sound that kind of looks factory, but it's got the Bluetooth built in. So speaking of that, we're also gonna have to have some speakers in here. We'll get to that. Orange wire, it'll feed over to here. That's our 12 volt constant for the radio. That goes to our cigarette lighter on the, y'all know, little ashtray thingy. Minus ducting, I think we're doing good here. I think we're pretty well done. Of course, putting your ducting in, there's just a bunch of ports off of that. We got to hook this to our vents that we adapted yesterday. And of course, we've got to service the system. And I know on some of them, you got to do something with like learn the system. You got to teach it. We'll look into all that. Right now, before ducting goes in there, since we are putting a radio in this, I want to be able to put on a tune or two as we cruise. If I was a smart man, I would have got us a 4x10 to go ahead and put in here, because I do not want to have to pull the dash pad back out after we put it in. Well, as y'all can tell, I forgot a radio and a speaker. Went by the Walmarts last night. Hate that place. But they did have some 4-inch speakers in stock. So I don't know we'll be able to make these fit in there, but we're gonna take a quick look-see. That's right. Well, they don't quite fit. They want to sit in there, they just can't quite. I think a little grinding and we'll be able to make them work. Let's look at our perforated area of the dash pad. Yeah, we'll be all right. No! It would have been all right till I just broke the speakers. All right, mark out each one of them. We just gotta waller that and waller that. Try to keep your shavings out of your defrost vents and be careful on those edges. They're gonna be sharp. I lost my yellow earmuffs. It's such a mess in here I can't find deadly. I should probably stop and clean up. Don't take very much and those will sit down in place. Forgot I had them little self-tappers. Probably could have just put a tapper there. If you don't have self-tappers, what I was originally doing is I turned those out to the factory speaker holes. Then I just put that piece in between there. Either way, that right there is going to work. Now for your wiring, just do the classic Pot County twisting tape. As y'all can see, I'm going to share the speakers off of one output from the radio. That's because these are little cheap $30 rink-dink Walmart speakers. And the radio, I think, has pretty good output. So if you can give a speaker way more than it can take, it sounds like crap. So we're better off sharing the load from the output of the radio to 2 speakers, and it should help it, I think. I've been out the audio game for a while, so I didn't even know when I was in the audio game. I was a 16-year-old kid, okay? 2 15s with a 3,000 watt amp in the back of my Blazer, you could hear me coming. But even back then, I was just kind of winging it and dinging it. I hooked them up and dropped that wire out there. And that's why I want to get them in before the dash pad goes on, because that's kind of a mess. Or it'd be a mess to do with all your vents in there and dash on. We don't want to take it apart again. Apparently we get a custom glove box out the deal. This one on the inside because it's got the little jog on it. And I just use my eagle eye and kind of mark it. Oh yeah, mark it down there, then up there, and then draw her out. And mark the bottom. Glove box is breaking. No, sure enough is. That ain't gonna have a bend or 2 left in it. It's about to break. If we flex that one more time, it's gonna snap. So, as much as we'd like to cut that down, knowing it's gonna be pointless because that's part of this side, we're gonna have to see if we can order one of these. Supposed to cut that down, then take some of them little S-clips we used like earlier, shove this onto there, and then that's your new low profile glove box to clear your new unit. Here's how to kill 2 hours. Put in some kill mat. I did this earlier. It really made it a lot more solid in here. Of course, this is going to help with the road noise. It's going to help with the heat coming up from the exhaust and transmission, and it'll help keep it insulated in here with that new heat, air conditioner, and everything else. I kind of want to go back with our dash and stuff, but to do that, I really need to get our cover for our gauges. So unfortunately, to make progress, I've got to leave and go get that. If I get it, we can get, hopefully, the whole dash wrapped up. Trip across Pot County and back. Here's our cover. And she's a little dirty. So we're gonna buff on it. Shoo! That's looking better already. Now's the cutting compound. I'm gonna take it through a polish compound, and that'll hopefully help a little more. It's already better than our other one because we can see through it. Woo-hoo. Polish the back on that. Need to clean her up from my fingerprints, but that's pretty good. Not shabby for a junkyard cover. Let's complete our redneck restoration of our gauges. The needles are all sun faded, so I went over them with a white paint marker to get a base coat down. But now we're gonna go over them with yellow. I know they came orange, but I ain't got an orange. I don't think the yellow will look too bad. They'll definitely look better than being half white, half orange, half sun faded. And here, friends, we have a happy little temperature needle. Bob Ross is the man. I don't know, I kind of like the yellow on there better than orange. course, other than that, you just want to kind of polish on the stuff back there. Try to knock the dust off of it. Probably should have done that before we got the paint marker out. Check our indicator lights real quick. This one wasn't working. I just swapped in a new bulb. Shoo! That little cover's dirty. Squeaky, 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 squeaky. That didn't help a whole lot. It's all right. We're gonna just say we tried our hardest. Go back together with our cover. The paint that's gonna show, we wanna hit her with the buffer real quick, get a little pop on it. Also, oh man, that looks way better. All of our other little gauges, not gauges, switches and crap over there, I just sprayed it all down and scrubbed on it as best as possible. That paint popping is gonna make a huge difference in our interior here. Right there's what she looked like before, and even when you cleaned it, like it cleans up all right. But y'all can see the shine on that baby now. Woo-hoo-wee! Gonna have us a damned old show truck. This interior is really gonna help it when we take it out to Barrett Jackson and run it across the auction block. Yeah. Hey, she's got disc brakes, just ask the pedal. That little brush right there is your best friend when it comes to these things. See that? She's practically brand new. Just look past all the cracks. It's her little floor lamp thingy. This has to go over here. It shoves on the factory duct, but apparently needs to hook up to this, wherever that cover is. I may have lost it. Found it, buff it. Slide your vent on. I noticed something. With that cover on there that was going right there, this couldn't sit up where it needed to be, so I pulled the cover. Our bundle of wires that was in that cover, I zip tied them up to the column. Just some damned old problem solvers. It's good because we got another problem. We're missing a clip right there. Yeah, I'll be back. Got a new clip. How fancy. Oh, Robert, bring me my fancy clip. Since my duct's a little redneck looking, when you can see the bottom hang down there, we'll try to bend our clip up. Then that should rotate that up some, as long as we can swivel down here, and that should hide that more. It kind of helped. Of course, when you're sitting up here, you can't see it. Down here, though, you can see it a little bit. It's looking beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, let's see if we can really put some lipstick on this pig. Woo! Slap yo mama. Drill us a pilot hole. Then set us a screw up in there. Get them just snug. Oh, baby. Now your ducting goes on a specific output of your HVAC system. Passenger side, center passenger, driver side, center driver. So just wiggle worm up underneath here and kind of marker the length and trim to fit. Can't forget our defrost duct. Instead of letting this one be floppy Joe, right up there, there's a brace. I'm just gonna zip tie to that where it don't hang down so much. Don't let the being wanted in 17 states fool y'all. Pretty professional. With that hanging before, it looked amateur at best. Ooh la la. Come on, wiggle your way in there. Come on, there we go. Come on. Beautiful. Absolutely stinking beautiful. Cheyenne pickup parts. I love it. Thank you guys so much for reaching out to me and just being a badass local Oklahoma manufacturing company that made these beautiful parts. That's really just gonna make this truck look so much better, especially here on the inside. Your springs pop on your glove box, pretty common. I know this because I just went and looked in my junkyard, and out of 3 of the trucks, only one of them had one that functioned correctly. Then them tabs down that's underneath here, that's what keeps it from opening too far. So now it will open too far right there. And you got two of these springs, the one that kind of jogs over. There's a hole on the side of the actual tray part that pivots. You need to get that jog piece in there and then put that in there. And then that, where it 90's over, is gonna go up into that hook. Get both sides started and close it. That'll spring close like that. And then before you open it back up, better bend your tabs back down. If it's gonna open too far, you're gonna be in bad shape. Oh, pop the spring. I'll do it again. Third time's a charm, and took 3 times. You can tell this was open most of its life because this is more of the gold color for being sun faded, and that's got more of the green to it. Looks like 2 different colors. We got to get the glove box in place just to see it, so I did cut that down where I marked it earlier. Our hinge that's about to break, I cleaned that up. Right here we got some T-Rex tape. Oh, it's not what I was trying to do, but we'll take it. Did I just accidentally cut that or rip that the perfect width? Uh-oh, she's a little wet in there. Down just a little more. What's funny is, because that's a good quality tape, that would probably last a lot longer than it should. Last piece right there that we're gonna do today anyhow. Slide that little grommet down. All that matches beautifully to our new piece here. Get the dust off that. Quick wipe down where we can step back and just appreciate it for the moment. We're just getting started. Door panels tomorrow. Morning, morning. My wife has a doctor's appointment this morning in the city, so I got out here at 6, guys, and I claimed for an hour and a half to get this shop decent again. We're gonna have to leave within the hour, so I'm gonna do fun stuff, you know, like scrub out inside that shroud before we put it back on. Our grill that was cracked right there, got her fixed up with some super glue setting up. I'll probably throw all the stuff back on the front. Y'all done seen it come on and off a couple times. Then put the support bar back in. Support strut. Who don't like a good strut? We got a strut up to the city. I'm gonna go trade out them kick panels. Also, since we're out, then we'll be back on it this afternoon at some point. Top Stitch Taylor's supposed to come here. He's gonna help me with the headliner carpet. What time is it? Like, I don't know, damn 9 o'clock now. Went to a doctor's appointment. They took us back about 2 hours later. That was nice of them. They sure value their time to not value yours. This is the second time with this doctor too. I talked to my dad. He said, next time hand that son of a bitch a bill. See how he likes it.
Yeah. Here's the 3 hours you wasted.
Right. You're gonna bill me, I'm gonna bill you back, buddy. As y'all see, we're doing a little headliner preparation.
The wrong way.
The right way.
Doing the right thing the wrong way.
We got the Scotch-Brite going. Trying to knock our flakes off and rust off. Everything else. Kicking up a lot of dust. You can see right there at our little chicken heat lamp. I told old Top Stitch, I said, we can do the glue in. I kind of forgot headliner, like I forgot some of our other things, so, you know, make do with what we got.
But the good thing, this here is exactly shaped like the factory headliner board is. Same exact shape.
It'll work. Got our headliner material here. Then cut us a piece, kind of the length, rough fit number. And don't mind that sexy seat right there. I gotta show it off real quick. Nothing too fancy, just a little fancy. How's she spraying?
Wide.
I'm thankful he has the actual spray gun and good glue where we ain't got to do it out in aerosol cans. That'll definitely help the quality of our glue-in headliner. If he does that, I'm going to take care of the hard work out here. Time to get funky. Roof is ribbed for structural pleasure. Also make gluing in a headliner pain in the rear. We could have done that. She just had about, I don't know, 17 more wrinkles than what she has right now. Yeah, I don't see a single wrinkle, buddy. I think you nailed it.
That's at the trim.
That's why we brought in the professional. Your version of the slice and dice, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Here, let me pull some tape and help her do something. Can't even do that right. Top Stitch Taylor just pro tipped us here. Tell them what to do if they're gonna do their carpet, sir.
Yeah, if you buy a pre-made carpet kit and you're putting it in, a lot of the times if you have jute padding underneath the carpet or whatever it is, it's very hard to find these little holes with this much padding and carpet. So just thread your bolts in, let them stick up about 1/4 of an inch, and when you lay your carpet down, you'll be able to fill them and cut around them.
That'll keep you from being in there with your little poker doing the poke and pray. Pull that carpet in there and he starts slapping away. She fit decent? At least we can see a little bit of the kill mat.
They're so nice.
That way you know it's done. Someone was rough on that vintage air. That looks used and abused. Matches the rest of the truck.
Cutting an octagon hole.
Our kill mat there, guys, when you're sitting up here on the bench, you can't see that down there. And then y'all's gonna be in it anyhow, so if you ever do see it somewhere and you look through the window, you're definitely not gonna see it down there. That's all that come out of this damn dash. He's gonna cut me a hole there. He done trimmed this side down to our seal plates. I got our kick panels traded out. Went by earlier and seen them and gave them their speaker holder ones back, and I just kind of like the factory looking ones. Passenger panel, your vintage air comes with your delete kit there for the fresh air. We're gonna give her the RTV special like our other panels. Plop that baby on the into place, onto place, into place, whatever. Ooh, I have to split some differences here. Doesn't look too shabby. Got a little military look to her. Got the rivets. She's gonna be a looker. Set that old beauty into place. Now just to finish a little mocking up for tonight, about ready to call it a evening. Where Taylor works during the daytime, gentleman there, I texted him yesterday. I said, "You don't got a good steering wheel, do you?" And he said, "I do. Only thing is it's for a GMC." And I said, "Well, perfect, because that's exactly what we need." So we've got as good as a condition driver quality steering wheel you're gonna find right here. We pop that on there. Woo, man, oh man. I'm gonna close that door since it's done and come look from this way where we won't see this. And I cannot be mad at all that. Of course, we still got more to trim out up there, down there, whatever. I did order new seal plates. Ours are kind of garbage. They were very cheap online. This thing is really coming together. Huge thanks to Top Stitch for coming and giving us a hand. The carpet, I think we could have handled. I could have trimmed it in. That headliner, we would have screwed up a few times. I'd be here throwing cans. Early bird gets the worm. That's how you properly remove one of them. Don't worry, these things are in bad shape. Yes, I just missed the trash can right there. We are about wrapped up. However, I want to get this door panel on, because assembling the door panel's got a little trickery to it. So we want to do this side when it's semi-fresh on our brain. And lastly, we gotta get our little clippy. This clip is bent or something. Well, that other side had popped right off, not this side. Oh no, can't go down without a fight. There's a piece of it. Those should just boop out of there. You're gonna come out of there. There we go. Can't even pull a door panel without finding rat's nest. Use that as a chance to clean up back there. Now Now this piece here you want to clean up really good because you can see a little bit of it over there. You can see around the handle. So we want her as clean as can be. Poor old handle needs all the help it can get. So you won't think you'll do much, but taking a little piece of quadruple zero steel wool, kind of shining on that bad boy, give her a little pop. Just a dab will do you. Here's our old armrest bracket support thingy majigger. As you can see, it's different. So this bigger one here, we found them at the salvage yard when we were out there pulling that green C10 out of there. We are going from 76 door panels that only come down to, well, where they came down to. And we're going to 78 to 80-ish, don't quote me on that. They're a little larger, they're a little different, and that's why this can be a little tricky. So we start with an armrest brace swap out. It's like playing Legos, kiddos. First you get your big piece, then you put your wood grain, then this little thing is going in there. I guess you put it first. Shh, don't tell nobody I messed that up. All of this is from the Cheyenne pickup parts. Our chrome little trim rings here, I had to get these from the LMC. That has prongs and you gotta just shove it down through there, and I can tell you right now, to get it where it's happy, it's a little bit of work. Everything's a very tight fit. I think on our other one those holes were bigger because it could push through more than that. Step that out one size up. There we go, much better. I don't think it was gonna fit before. The other one did, so I don't know. Maybe I just messed up doing that. It'll stick up. You got these nut biter thingies, like what we used on the dash. You gotta be careful with them. I've been trying to take them to kind of feel it like it's actually biting, and then just like an eighth. So it's tightened. Take our next piece and plop it in. Huh. And there's not a hole right there. Get them all lined up, it pops in there quite nice. You just flip that baby over and you got about 1,300 of them to put on that ring. She's looking good. Up next, you got a pull strap. From the factory, I'm assuming these pull straps would probably screw into some metal on the door. Only problem is on ours is it goes up in this area. There ain't no metal there. And we need this to attach to the door panel. And I could be wrong, this on other ones, this may just screw straight to there, I don't know. Or straight to the door panel. But what we're gonna do is put this thing into place. You've got one dowel on each side. Then our screws that come with it, I'm just gonna use one of these little clips and grab it on the back as a nut. And we're just gonna tighten those down, and then we gotta cut off that extra. If you don't cut off the extra on the front piece where there is metal, you hit the metal and you can't put your door panel on. This was all my trials and tribulations of doing this side. So I'm an expert now. Plastic on plastic is slick. There we go, that was a good bite. See, when you push that on that dowel, it pops it out like that. That makes it the pull strap. You could use a little bolt nut. My problem was I didn't have a washer, and I want a washer on that. I'm also gonna recommend to not use that to pull on the door, because really up in here you end up with the one screw there holding and the top of the door panel. If you just use the armrest to pull, you got straight support right there. So I'll just say let these be for decoration. Give that a nice little trim job. Oh! Get your little end caps that clean that up. Just simply hook down in there and snap back on the back side. The old classic snapping hook. I meant the old classic hook and snap. Snap! There she went. She snapped. No, she didn't. There we go. That was a snap. Shoo! Those really cleaned that up too. Back here on the truck side of things, our old worn out seal there, well, get rid of her. 'Cause right here we got a new, not so worn out seal. her right into place and halt. Before we go forward, we need to buff our door. Buffing that helps this become a brand new door. It's a door that's been born again. I wouldn't say brand new. Now our seal on this side, it just clicks on to your panel. When your smaller clips, then your bigger clips hook it to the door itself. You gotta pull your handle and kind of angle it through the slot. Then over here, you can make sure you're kind of lined up with your lock hole. And then just kind of slide your seal down where it needs to be. You put a little lubrication in the situation to pop that down. The seals are kind of rubbing each other, which, whatever that means. So a little glass cleaner will help it do the slip and slide. Pop, pop, clip. I hear it going. Slide it back just a hair. That's good. So yesterday, as I did that one, I had to take the door panel on and off about 4 times to figure out all the different stuff, because I assumed once this got on, we could attach the strap, and then I forgot the little back cover piece behind the handle. And anyhow, like I said, I'm practically an expert on these doors now. This one went really smooth. And we got our screw hole right here. I kind of like them hex heads, and they're the screws I have that work for the length. So I'm just drilling us a pilot and then putting those down across the bottom. Just get her where she's snug. Keep that from flopping and popping. There we go. I think her clip back there had moved. I reached up in there and moved the clip. I could feel it move. Now that screw's biting good. A quick pickup around the shop again, and guys, that's it for this week. I'd say we made really solid progress here. There's just some odds and ends that's gonna have to carry into next week. Unfortunately, lack of parts. We're still gonna wait on armrest, door seal plates, the radio. We're gonna have to get some different window cranks. Those ones don't reach in there deep enough. I gotta investigate that. Out here, our alternator, we still gotta get it mounted to this side. Our breather can't mount the way it has to breathe because our mount is gonna hit our AC compressor. A rusted battery tray, I did order us one of them. So we've got just a handful of the knick-knack, paddywhack, give your dog a bone crap that, you know, just keeps you from completing your project all the way. But do not forget, today's Saturday, where anyways, Monday was spent doing full day of rust repair that I did not plan for. So had that rust repair not been hidden underneath there, man, we probably could have got all this wrapped up. We've got our trim that we need to put up around the headliner all the way, and our kick panels to still install. But overall, really solid progress. It's looking really good. Usually I'm not a huge wood grain fan, but the wood grain just really works with the color of this truck. I think the black, the moss gold paint, and that wood grain just has a little pop-a-rooey. So that's it. Shout outs real quick. The Cheyenne Pickup Parts, obviously, for donating this interior to us. Y'all know I usually don't work with sponsors, but when you're from Oklahoma, you're sponsoring a truck that I've got a pretty cool plan for. We'll probably reveal that next week because it's about done. I think when we take it out to the auction, it's going to do really good. Anyhow, thanks to Cheyenne Pickup Parts. I'm not really taking it to the auction, right? Y'all know that. I'd been throwing that out there here or there. For donating this. What an awesome guy, awesome couple, him and his wife running that shop here in Oklahoma, making some awesome parts for these trucks. So y'all be sure to check them out. I'll put a link to their website in the description of this video. Adam, my buddy, for giving us a column to this truck that he had. And then Aaron for the steering wheel. Right there, we've got a nice looking column and wheel. I mean, how can you be mad at that? That baby looks mint condition. Then of course, Top Stitch Taylor for taking care of our seat for us, and then giving us a hand putting in the carpet and the headliner material. I still don't think I would have got you done like that. I'd have had to order one of the molded boards, which I guess we could have done if we were thinking ahead, but hey, we're not always thinking, much less thinking ahead. Thank you guys so much for being here. I was trying to make this the last week of working on this thing, but anyhow, you know, you got to roll with the punches sometimes. I'm lost. I'm on the Instagrammer, guys. I'm on the Patreon. I am on the Facebooker, kinda, sorta. Puddins.fab.shop for that good quality merchandise. Last week we had released the S10 shirts and the Wheel Hop Wilmer shirts. So hopefully you got you some of them. We had some crew necks in stock. Thank y'all for the support. The wanted shirts and hoodies, basically, whew, they were gone. Y'all wanted that wanted Oklahoma Wild Man. So thank y'all for the constant support there. Doing that makes a large part of this possible for us to keep growing, doing cool things with vehicles like this. And I will see you guys next time. However, do not forget, sitting on your ass won't finish your project. Y'all's probably thinking I'm done this Saturday morning, but I am not. One, I've got some trash to take out. Two, whew, we're about to ruffle some feathers in the upcoming weeks. Not on purpose, it's what I feel like my heart needs to do. But I think some people's not gonna be happy about it. Y'all see that soon enough, I reckon.